This is the Foy Jr. Show, where faith, truth, and courage come together. Join us as we explore life's deeper purpose and carry the torch of conviction. The show begins now.
Welcome to the Foy Jr. Show. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. Please hit that follow or subscribe button if you haven't already. And if this episode hits you, share it with one person. It helps us grow. It's a blessing, and I really appreciate that. Whew. Let's get into it this week. Wow. I never realized how much the devil wants my joy. As a leader of people, of a wife and of daughters, he definitely wants my joy. And if you're leading a team, a family, if you're leading your life for betterment, your joy is being hunted. And I cannot say that lightly. As I work out in my Jesus gym, trying to learn the Bible, apply it in leadership in my life, try to grow. And remember, I'm definitely dropping the weight on my foot constantly. I'm no biblical expert by any stretch of the imagination. Just a guy working out with Jesus and applying it the best I can. And learning things along the way. And this past week, I was tested. And in that test, I prayed, meditated, read the word, spoke to spiritual advisors, and my conclusion, my discernment is exactly that. Joy being hunted like shark going after blood in the water. And if we're not careful, and the devil wins that joy. Again, by the way, he doesn't have to win our soul. He takes a bit of our joy. We get a little bitter. It changes who we are, how we lead, and the impact that we make. And that's dangerous. So, what do? How do we win? And why is joy so important? Let's start with where the Bible's clear. It's clear the enemy is coming after us. So why would the enemy want our joy? Because it's a key component of who we are, of what it does. Joy fuels strength. Joy fuels endurance. Joy fuels leadership. It determines how you walk into your home, how you sit in your office, how you speak to your team, how you carry yourself in pressure. When joy leaves, bitterness moves in. And bitterness rots leaders from the inside out. I felt that knock this week. Monumental disrespect of an employee. Someone I invested in, gave space to grow, paid well, and I felt it. That surge, that ego, that fighter inside of my chest rising. And you need to understand something about me if you don't already. I'm not just a business person. I'm a fighter. Multiple state championships, junior Olympic championships, regional, national titles. And there's a code in that world. You disrespect, we escalate. And for a split second, that old version of me, it stepped forward. My energy shifted. The room tilted. Something was about to go down. But here's the miracle. I'm so glad to talk about the outcome that it ended up being. I didn't take the bait. Not because I'm soft, but because I'm aware. Because I've been in the Word. I've been praying. I've been intentionally applying Scripture, not just reading it. And here's what I'm learning. The more you apply it, the more resistance shows up. And that's not coincidence. That's confirmation. If your joy is under attack, you're probably growing. You just can't take the bait. Now let's ground this in Scripture. Genesis. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food. Translation, you will toil with the soil. Sweat is literally promised. Resistance is promised. Weeds are promised. It's written into the design after the fall. So, then why am I so shocked when soil resists me? Why am I surprised when people disappoint or disrespect? Toil isn't a glitch. It's part of the system. But here's the shift. While toil is promised, bitterness is not. Ecclesiastes says it's like chasing the wind. You build, you grind, you achieve, you accumulate, and it cycles. Generations come, generations go. So, if resistance is permanent, generation after generation, then joy cannot depend on smooth seasons. It has to depend on our posture. So, if that's the case, then there's a war on our posture. Not catastrophe, but slight irritation and ego and those small daily frictions. That's where joy bleeds out quietly. Last week, I almost lost it. And it wasn't over anything major, like payroll or markets or revenue decline. It was ego. And that's what makes it so dangerous. The enemy doesn't need to bankrupt you. He needs you sour. If he makes you reactive, he wins. If he makes me resentful, he wins. If he makes us bitter, he wins. So where do we anchor this? I'm going to go to Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as if working for the Lord. Okay, that's the case. I'm not working for someone to respect me or applause or validation, but for the Lord. That means when disrespect does show up, you don't lower your standard. You adjust your ego. That's containment. That's maturity. That's building a fireplace around your fire. And let me say something else. Minimum wage, doesn't mean we expect minimum effort. That's a cultural lie. When I was a dishwasher, I was the best damn dishwasher on planet Earth. But it wasn't because anyone cared. It's because that's who I was. But here's what I'm learning now. Effort is fruit. Identity is anchored higher. If your identity depends on how people treat you, on how they respect or disrespect you, your joy will always be fragile. If our identity is anchored in who we belong to, joy becomes stable. This war for joy, it doesn't happen in church only. It also happens in kitchens and boardrooms. The war for our joy is also in our marriages, in our car rides. It's subtle, a comment, a tone, an inconvenience, a little entitlement. And if we keep reacting, we keep bleeding joy. Last week, I chose resistance. I left the room, not weakness, wisdom. Escalation would have satisfied my ego, but it would have poisoned my culture. Leaders, we can't afford poisoned cultures. Remember this. Toil is promised. Resistance is promised. Joy, it's chosen. You will sweat. You will labor. You will be resisted. But you don't have to be sour. So let me ask you, where's your joy leaking? Your boss? Your employees? Your company? Your spouse? Your expectations? How about your ego? Guard your joy. Protect your joy. Fight for it. Not with fists, with discipline, with posture, with identity anchored above circumstances. Find joy in the toil. Refuse to surrender to irritation. Whatever you do, don't take the bait. God bless. See you next week.
Do you love listening to the Buddy Foy Jr. Show and want to hear his thoughts and commentary as news breaks? You can. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Buddy Foy Jr. That's at Buddy Foy Jr. So you can watch his short video clips, enjoy pictures he posts, and read his tweets. But he also wants to hear from you on whether or not you agree or disagree with him, what topics are most important to you, and what guests you'd like him to schedule for his show. Email him anytime at buddyfoyjr@gmail.com. That's buddyfoyjr@gmail.com, and he'll read and reply to as many as he can. If you've been a guest at the Chateau on the Lake or the Chateau Anna Maria and want to buy a gift certificate or souvenir, visit the website and click Shop to buy shirts, hats, coffee mugs, and more. Remember to follow Buddy on Twitter and Instagram at Buddy Foy Jr. or email him at buddyfoyjr@gmail.com.